Hi, Captain Cisco Torreros here. Today's episode is going to be really unique because we're going to be talking about some of the design sneak peeks that we have for you. So let's get started. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited to be showing you this today because this is going to be super, super cool. And I really hope you guys like it. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and showing you guys the ins and outs of the sneak peek. So before I get started, I gotta tell you about our designer. His name is Martin Punchev. He is a designer who has worked in the gaming industry for a long time. He's got lots of experience. He's worked with the likes of Blizzard, Viacom, to name a few. And he's a phenomenal artist. And not only is he a phenomenal artist, but he's also an incredible dude. It has been so fun to work with him. So I asked him to give me some sneak peeks of behind the scenes, right? Because all of us are seeing the end product, but we're not seeing how he's getting to that point. So for that reason, today's episode, we're gonna be talking about that. So let's start with the first piece, which is the gloves. We wanted to make sure that every captain played different spots in the field: defender, striker, midfielder, and of course goalies. And goalies are very unique because they do wear gloves. They're the only other player in the field that wears something different than a cleat and a shin guard, because they need protection in their hands and they need grip, etc. So we wanted to make sure the gloves were cool and were distinctive. And here's a couple of examples and a couple of color waves that we've done. Something cool that Martin has done that I really appreciate is that he has created so much depth into his designs. For example, as we know, the captains are going to be holding the ball, yet Martin spent the time and energy to be able to highlight or to create lighting on the thumb, which by the way is hidden. Nobody's going to see it, but yet he has put so much effort into every single piece of the designs. The next thing we're going to talk about is the jerseys. Of course, we need as many traits as we can because we're going to have a lot of NFTs, and we want to make sure that we have the ability to have multiple variations without having to jeopardize the rarity of them, right? So for that reason, we have 5 different different types of jerseys that we're going to be doing. The first one is a tracksuit. Think of the captain when he's on the lineup, getting ready to sing the national anthem. As you guys notice, obviously everything I show you today is design concepts, is not the final product. So of course, don't judge the quality of the design because that's is a work in progress. What I'm trying to say. For example, you'll notice that there's a dent on where the captain armband would be because obviously he hasn't been able to put the captain armband at this point. Of course, the captain's already done, but at this point of the progress of what we're showing you. So again, first one is a tracksuit, second one is a polo, the next one is a jersey with sleeves. And I don't know if I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in. But if you were to zoom in, you would be able to see the graphic and literally the detail of the clothing, right? Because as you know, cotton is woven, and you can see the woven pieces in the cotton in this piece, because these are vintage jerseys, the orange one in the middle, you can actually see some of like the cotton balls that are formed because of that. And so again, the amount of detail that he's put into this is so rad. The other one is of course your natural jersey. There's several different colorways and variations. In fact, a lot of them have different patterns in them, so to make them very unique. And the last one is a hoodie. We thought it'd be kind of cool and different to give some of the captains hoodies to create some depth and to be able to for the eyes to see some depth in the captains. The next thing I'm going to show you is the tattoos. Obviously, we want to make sure that the captains have as many different traits as a professional player would, right? I mean, if we name all the professional players that we love and know, some of them may have tattoos, some of them may have earrings, some of them may have shaved heads, some may have long hair. And we wanted to make sure that we also capture that in what we do. This is a sample of one of the tattoos, or what the tattoo series would look like. There's a couple of different variations of these tats, but again, this is just a sample. And again, for those that understand how NFTs work, or how NFTs are produced, I should say, they're produced in layers, right? And so this is a layer that Martin has created, and then once we add more layers, then it would create, the final version of the captain. The next thing I want to show you guys is something that I'm super geeked out about. We wanted to make sure that we gave captains realistic looks, right? And as you guys know, we see lots of football, and there's always somebody that gets, their head injured on a header or whatever, and they always wear a bandage in their head, and they're always bleeding during the game. We thought that was so cool to implement in our captains, so we asked Martin to definitely bring that to life, and he did. Again, guys, goes without saying, these are just mock-ups. This is not the final version. You can see that there's not a lot of detail yet in the hair or whatever. But again, we just want to give you the inside look of what it looks like. And he's nailed it. Again, perfect example of how intelligent and how creative he is. That, let's say that this is where the cut is and the blood has rushed down, but it didn't reach the skin because it was trapped by the bandage. Again, I just think he's so incredibly talented at what he does, and this is a perfect example of that. Another accessory or things that is going to identify our captains is accessories in the face, right? If it's sunglasses or if players that wear eye protective gear. But one that I really love that I thought would be really cool is a mask. As you guys know, Neymar broke his nose or cheek or whatever he broke, and he had to wear a mask to protect himself and his face. And we thought we wanted to bring that to life because we think that's pretty cool. I'm going to try to move myself here so you guys can see better. So this is the transparent look. You can't really tell because it's in a black background, but once the layer is on a captain, you would be able to see how it is transparent. This is more like a carbon fiber. If you can see some of the texture, this one is a little bit deeper of a this is matted and this one is glossy. And then again, different variations of what the face mask would look like. Again, we just think he's so damn creative and the ability that he has to bring these things to life. So, we wanted, as I said, to bring you guys the inside of what we're trying to do so you can see it. Now, one of the things that we're very passionate about is mental health. That's the reason why we partner up with MetaMouse. We love those guys. It is one of the coolest collabs I've ever seen in the NFT space. And they're very keen and very predominant in the mental health space. And we wanted to make sure that we also brought that to our game. Obviously, a lot of footballers suffer from concussions and other mental injuries or head injuries, I should say. And we want to protect their brains, if that makes sense. So for that reason, we created a helmet like Peter Cech. And again, this is just a rendering of what it will look like. But again, just showing you guys the inside look of the many compositions we're going to have with these captains. Guys, we're so freaking excited to show you the final product. We're going to start showing you sneak peeks every day for the next few weeks. In fact, we're going to start today with the first sneak peek of a full captain, and we're super excited to hear your feedback. Guys, thank you so much for your support. We love you. We appreciate you. Our community is growing incredibly fast and in a very cool and organic way. And throughout all of our marketing, you will notice that we are inviting people to our website, not to our Discord. And there's a reason why. We want people to read our white paper. We want people to read our roadmap. We want people to truly understand who we are before they join our Discord, because we feel that that is how we're going to capture a true community of fans, of footballers, of people who truly have passion for our project, but most importantly for our sport. And listen, if you're not a football fan, welcome, because we still love you. We still want to prove the concept that we're going to disrupt professional sports forever. So it doesn't matter if you're a hockey player, if you're an American football player, rugby player, golfer, it doesn't matter. We are going to disrupt professional sports forever and ever. So thank you for joining us. And until next episode, signing off, captains.